Welcome to the Business Fireside Chat. We are excited about today's program, The Right Business Structure for You. I am Cynthia Turner, and I'm happy to be with you today. Today's program is going to help anyone starting a business, and it has relevant information for those with existing businesses. So grab your pencil and a notepad and be prepared to capture the great information that you're going to hear today. I want you at the end to send all of your questions to the Reverend Dr. Sandy English. We will have his information for you at the very end. So get ready as I introduce you to the Reverend Dr. Sandy English. Dr. English holds a Juris Doctorate degree with honors from American University, Washington College of Law. He holds a bachelor's of arts degree in political science from Hunter College of the University of New York. After 23 years in corporate business, labor employment, and civil litigation, Reverend English retired from his private law practice and freelanced as a real estate broker and a residential mortgage loan originator until June of 2004, when he became a licensed and ordained minister. Reverend English is currently a small business consultant and a coach specializing in the areas of marketing, sales, recruiting, motivation, and training, all with small businesses. His professional career has traversed more than 40 years. So, with that, I'm so excited to turn it over to the Reverend Dr. Sandy English, who is going to set you up with the right structure for your small business. Dr. English?
Yes, good afternoon. Um, we're going to address the question of the top 5 factors to consider when setting up any business. Second, the 4 main types of legal uh, business entities. And 3, choosing the right structure for your business. So, the first item is going to be the 5 factors to consider when setting up any business. We're talking about business size, need for capital, risk of liability, tax implications, and future goals of the business. We next go to the 4 main types of legal business entities. We first have the sole proprietor. That's a single person business. Now, there are some risks there that you can protect yourself with insurance, but otherwise, the structure itself does not protect you from liability. The next type is a partnership, and a partnership is 2 or more persons. However, you can have a partnership with businesses. 2 businesses can come together and have a partnership. And if you do that, if it's 2 corporations or 2 LLCs, then you have some liability protection. If it's 2 individuals, there is no protection, liability protection, other than what you have in the way of insurance. The next type of business is an LLC, limited liability corporation. Now, what's unique about that is you do have some limited liability. You're protected by the nature of an LLC. The profits and losses of the business or the LLC pass through the LLC to the members of the LLC. So if you've got 5 members, then the profits and losses pass to those 5 people. You decide how much for each person, but collectively, you'll have 100% of the profits and losses going to those individuals. And then there is no tax on the entity itself. The tax goes to the individual members. Then we have the corporation. Now, a corporation is sort of unique because you have about three forms of tax. If it's a regular corporation, which is usually called a C corporation, the business is taxed, the employees are taxed. If there are board members who receive some type of income from being board members, that money is taxed. And then if there's a dividend going to the shareholders, that is taxed also. Now, if you have an S corp, then the tax structure changes. An S corp is basically the same as an LLC, except that it's part of a corporation. And what happens is the profits and losses of the business go through the corporation, the S corporation, to the individual shareholders. Okay. You do have tax liability on any contracts or any employees, but there's no tax per se for the S corp. You have profits and losses going through the S corp to the shareholders. As I said, you have liability for contracts, you have liability for the employees. So those are the four basic structures. Now, I think I've mentioned already what the sole proprietor is. I've mentioned what a partnership is. I've mentioned the LLC. I've mentioned the C Corp and the S Corp. Okay. So those are the main factors that we have. And I already mentioned um, the structure. Now, sometimes you get the question, well, of these four or five, which is the best one? Well, it really depends on what you're trying to do. Some could say that the LLC is the best one. Others could say that the corporation is the best one. And others could say the S Corp. Probably, I would say, if you're concerned about liability, probably the corporation, C corporation, would be the best one. Although, keep in mind, you're going to get more individuals or components of tax with the C corporation than you do. So maybe the S corp would be the best one. It's very similar to the LLC in the structure as far as the profits and losses going through. So it's going to be between the LLC and the S corp, if you want to say what's the best one. Now, one other factor is with the corporation, you can only have so many people in a S corp. So if you're going to grow, and I'm not sure what the limit is, but there is a limit, or if you're going to go public, then the best one is going to be the C corporation. So that's my presentation. If there's something that I missed, uh, ask me a question and I'll address it. Otherwise, I've completed my presentation.
Let me just do a very quick recap for you. What you learned today, the 5 top factors to consider when setting up any business, the 4 main types of legal business entities, and the last item was choosing the right structure for your business. And Dr. English, we thank you so much for all of that valuable information. Remember, if you have questions, please do get in touch with Dr. English. Here is all of his information here, including his phone number, email address, and his website so that you can learn even more about what Dr. English does. Again, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for joining and listening at our today's Business Fireside Chat, setting up the right business structure for your business. Be sure to register for any upcoming events. Be on the lookout for emails and announcements about business information that we can all use to take our business over the top. Again, I am Cynthia Turner, and I thank you so much for joining us. And remember to contact me, that content expert, if you have a need for writing. Thanks so much. Bye.